Ladies and guys who have missed me, Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet, and guy who hasn't actually recorded a podcast in, I think, 6 or 7 weeks now. This is the Kill You're in a Loser show. Let's fucking go, baby. So, I haven't recorded a podcast in about 7 weeks. I'm going to be really rusty. Content has been coming out on the channel and also on my Spotify channel as well. By the way, there's different stuff on there. There's extra videos that you don't see on the YouTube. Stuff's been coming out because I scheduled a bunch, but I've had like a 7-week break from doing podcasts, so no idea how this is going to go. So I thought we would start off with something fairly chill today. So I went through the YouTube comments, and I don't ever read YouTube comments, so I didn't actually go through the YouTube comments. I got my girlfriend to, and she picked out a bunch of your questions, and I thought I would kind of jump in and answer some of them, because some of them are pretty good questions. And this question here by a guy, Bleb Burr, really interesting username. This is a question that gets asked a decent amount, so I thought I'd jump on, and my answer is probably going to surprise you. So I'll read out the question, which is, hey, new sub here. I hope you mean subscriber and not sub as in Dom sub, but if you want to be a sub, I respect that, brother. You can be my sub. Your first job is to go out and hit on 20 girls. If you're going to be my sub, that's your first fucking job. Go outside and hit on 20 girls. And I'm not even joking when I say that. That's kind of going to be my answer here to this question. So I'll read out his question. Hey, new sub here. I just watched a video by a pickup artist where a guy says he doesn't recommend saying to the girl, hey, I just wanted to say I thought you were cute and I wanted to say hi. Instead, he recommends saying something like, hey, I love your style and I just wanted to say hi. Or, hey, I think you got a really badass look about you, so I was kind of curious, etc. To me, that sounds lame. Do you think this is good? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, so my answer is going to be a little surprising to you likely. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't think it fucking matters that much. It really, really, really doesn't matter anywhere near as much as you think it does. And I understand when you're new to something, and you're obviously new to it, or you wouldn't be asking this question, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but when you're new to something, you have no concept of what is important and what isn't important, or what will affect your results and what won't affect your results. You have no idea. And so you're obviously going to be curious. And so you're going to ask questions. Do you think I should do this? Should I dress like this? Should I only go out on a Tuesday? Should I do this? Or if it's something like a money goal, you'll be like, should I only email people on a Tuesday? What time should I schedule my coaching calls? Do you think it's good to have a 1-hour coaching call, or should they be 1.5? Or should I do a 2-hour coaching call? It's like, it really doesn't matter anywhere near as much as you think it does. The things that matter more are the underlying fundamental principles, which is what I try and get across to you guys in all of my content. So this question of like, should I tell her she's cute or should I instead just compliment her style? The difference between those two things, it'd be like a 10% difference in terms of your results. Maybe even less than that. It probably doesn't even really fucking matter. At least it hasn't in my experience. The things that will move the needle the most, or the things that will matter the most and affect your results the most are you going outside every day and talking to as many women as you can? No, you're not, or you wouldn't be asking this question. And I mean that in a polite way. Go outside and talk to more fucking women. Another thing that affects your results is, will you quit? Or will you stick at this for long enough to have the results that you want and build the life you want and achieve your goals and all of that? Are you doing a little bit every single day and not just going long periods of time where you don't talk to girls or you don't work on your business or you don't, whatever it is that your goal is? Those are the only 3 things that really matter. So do a little bit every single day. Don't quit. And in this case, play the numbers game and talk to as many women as you possibly can. As long as you do those 3 things, these kind of questions just really don't even fucking matter for multiple reasons. First of all, if you were outside talking to 10 or 15 girls a day, or fuck, if you do less than that and just talk to 1 girl a day, but if you were outside talking to 15 girls a day, this wouldn't matter. You would see that it really doesn't make that big a difference between complimenting her on her style and telling her she's cute. Sure, it makes a little bit of a difference, but you're talking to 15 girls. It doesn't matter if you're half as efficient. You're still talking to more than enough girls that you will get dates. You will get laid. You will get a girlfriend, whatever the fuck you want. You will get that. If you just don't quit, you will see that even if you're half as efficient and what you're doing is only half as good as some other technique, you'll stick at it for long enough that you'll eventually get the results. You'll just have to be a little more patient and wait a little longer. If you're doing a little bit every single day, you will adjust. You'll say, hey, I'm doing this thing that this other guy recommended where he said, hey, I love your style. I don't really like it. It doesn't feel like me. Or I don't think it works as well. Or I want to try something a little more, what would you say, forward, a little more honest. I don't really care about her style. That's another topic we can get into, and maybe I'll get into that in a second, the topic of honesty and actually doing something in line with what you want and saying, hey, I like your style, can sometimes be you skirting around the truth. You're trying to indirectly hit on her because you're too scared to just hit on her, to just tell her, hey, you're cute, hey, you're sexy. Yo, I wanted to talk to you. What up? You look really cool. What are you up to? Like, you're too scared to just be real, so you're trying this, like, technique of, like, oh, maybe I can just get in around the side. So we'll talk about that in a second, but to bring it back to the point, the original point, the only thing that really matters is do a little bit every day, don't quit, play the numbers game. That's it. That's all that really fucking matters. That's all that matters. So don't stress yourself too much about, like, should I say, you know, she's cute? Should I compliment her on her style? Should I tell her that, like, yo, you got a fucking big-ass booty and I want to get between that? It's like, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're being decent when you hit on them. Like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you walk up to a girl and be like, what up, sexy tits? Show me that cunt. I want to lick your fucking hole, bitch. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that you do that. But as long as you're doing something to get across to her that you're into her, and saying I dig your style is sort of that. It's a good enough version of that. Sure, it's not as direct as like, hey, you're cute, but it gets the message across, yes, in a bit more of an indirect way. So as long as you're getting across, I'm attracted to you, or I like you, or I'm into you, as a man attracted to a woman, and then you're talking for, a minute minimum. You can talk less than that. You can talk for like 10 seconds if you want to. As long as you're talking for just some amount of time, and then saying, can I get your number? Let's grab a drink. I would like to take you on a date. Yo, we should go out sometime. Like anything like that, as long as you're giving her a compliment, like saying that you're into her, talking for some fucking small amount of time, and then asking for a phone number, that's all that matters. It matters less how you do that, and you would know that, and again, I'm saying this in a nice way, you would know that if you went outside and talked to a lot of girls. So the best advice I could ever give you will not be, hey, you should say this. Hey, make sure you say this. Hey, I want you to be a carbon copy of me and say everything I say and do it in the same tone of voice as me and be an alpha male Chad like me. That's not great advice. The best advice I can ever give you is, mate, go outside and talk to more women. The best article or one of the best articles I ever wrote, or the most pertinent articles that I ever wrote to this conversation is, the solution to all your problems is go talk to more girls. You're sitting here saying, which technique should I use? The technique where you go outside and talk to more girls. That's it. It's the only technique that fucking matters. It's literally all that matters because, again, you will realize that these tiny little differences between pickup lines and how you dress and how you angle your body, they matter a lot less than talking to a lot of women. The one thing basically every fucking pickup artist will agree on is talk to as many women as you possibly can. And they vary in terms of what they call a lot of women, but everybody understands the concept of the numbers game. Every pickup artist understands the concept that you don't just walk up to the first woman that you ever like and she becomes your wife and you get married happily ever after. It's like, if you have that fucking you've been watching way too many Disney movies if you have that fairy tale in your head, but you will walk up to the first girl, you'll fuck it up because you're nervous, and you'll say, oh, do you want to get a drink sometime? And she'll go, oh, that's really sweet, but I actually have a boyfriend. And you're like, no, you were supposed to be my Disney princess. Like, what the fuck? What do I do now? It's like, well, you go and talk to more women. You go and find the woman that's into you. You find the woman that you like and she likes you back, and you go out on a date and you see if you like each other. You fuck each other, or you get married and have fucking little babies. I would hope you have sex before you get married, but you do that through the numbers game. You don't just walk up to the first girl that you like. So I really want to drill it into you that it doesn't matter so much what you say. I'm never going to be the person that sits here and defends one way or another, because I'll phrase this in a nice way. That's what you do when you're in the beginner stages, or when you're even in the intermediate stages, and you haven't had a whole lot of sex, or you haven't it sounds like I'm throwing shade at other pickup artists, and that's not my intent, but you do get to a point where you've had enough sex and you've had enough dating experience, and at this point I've had more than my fair share. I've lost count, and you get to a point where you're pretty satisfied with your sex life, and you realize that defending one idea or another none of it even fucking matters, because you've had enough experience, you've tried enough things, and I've experimented so many times with millions of different pickup lines and different techniques and all of this, and you realize that it doesn't matter anywhere near as much as you think it does, that you can get laid being ultra mega conservative, super nice guy, Or you can get laid from being super fucking aggressive. Like, and when I say aggressive, maybe a better word is like assertive, blunt, masculine, like sexual. There you go, sexual. I've walked up to girls and just been the most nice guy ever. Like, hey, how's your day going? I've walked up to girls and just looked them up and down and gone like, you are so fucking sexy. Holy shit. I've gotten laid from doing both of those. On my Tinder, God, look at my Tinder. I have literal BDSM pictures, and you're a new sub, so maybe you haven't read my articles. Go to my website, go to killyourinaloser.com and just read the top list of articles. There's a link at the top that says, are you new? Start here. Just read all of those. And you'll see in my Tinder, like my Tinder profile, I have literal BDSM pictures. Me in a suit holding a fucking pair of handcuffs with my girlfriend with a blindfold around her. She's showing off her butt. Like, I have pictures of me with a leash, like pulling on, like there's a picture of me with two girls. They're on their knees. They're both like got collars around their neck. I'm holding both their leashes. I'm standing in a suit. I'm standing up and they're both on their knees, like a fucking dominant, like threesome picture. I have really hardcore pictures on my Tinder. And my bio talks about, me and my girlfriend like to, okay, I phrase it nicer than this, but me and my girlfriend, like to sleep with girls together and teach them BDSM. That's in my fucking bio. My first message is like, basically, do you want to have a threesome with me and my girlfriend? We'll teach you BDSM. If you got a fucking OnlyFans, we'll take pictures for your OnlyFans, as long as I can use the pictures on my website as well. Like, do you want to get down to it? You want to fuck, yes or no? Like, that's my Tinder profile. That's about as, like, hardcore as you're ever going to be without getting banned. And I get banned all the time, by the way, just make a new account. But that's ultra fucking hardcore. That works, and so does being ultra fucking nice guy. I was an ultra nice guy at the start. So most of my clients are when they start because they haven't got the confidence yet to do the BDSM stuff. They both work. You just have to understand the only thing that changes is the dynamic of the dynamic of what you have with the girl that you end up sleeping with or dating. So if I start with a very BDSM hardcore dynamic, she's going to expect sex, isn't she? The whole dynamic, the whole sexual dynamic is very fucking sexual, very hardcore. Obviously, she's having a threesome with my girlfriend and I. So that's kind of like what the dynamic feels like. It's like, oh, this is very sexual, very hardcore. And that doesn't mean they don't stick around for a long time. It doesn't mean you can't also be friends with them and all that kind of stuff. But it's a very sexual, clear dynamic, right? If you go the opposite and be very like nice guy, it might take you a little longer to have sex. You're probably not going to fuck on the first. Oh, it's not true. You might not fuck on the first date because you haven't started with a sexual vibe. You can, and I tell you to try, like invite her back. You want to come back to my place, have another drink or chill and see if she wants to have sex with you there. But the point is the dynamic will be very different. And that's about the only thing that changes. But we're talking about like, does it work? Can you get laid? Yes, you can get laid being the nicest fucking guy of all time. How do you think most guys get laid? Most guys aren't doing the shit that we're doing. They're not out there on the street talking to women. Most guys don't cold approach. The vast majority of human beings do not meet each other and have sex and get into relationships through cold approach. And so being an ultra fucking nice guy works. You can literally be fucking friends with a girl. I don't recommend it, but that works. We're talking about what works. Now, if you want to talk about what is the most efficient to get laid, then yes, walking up to a girl and saying, yo, you're sexy. Yo, you're really hot. I want to say, hey, what's up? That works better than like, hey, I like your style. That works better at getting you laid. But the question here is like, does it work? Or which one is better? It's like, mate, both will work. And again, you being very sexual and walking up and saying, yo, you're sexy. Yo, you're hot. That doesn't matter anywhere near as much as talking to as many girls as you possibly can. That's just being that sexual is a more efficient way of getting laid. But the best way of getting laid is talk to as many women as you possibly can. And if you're someone who right now says, oh man, I don't know that I can tell a girl that she's hot or that she's sexy. I don't think I can do that. I think all I can do is compliment her on her style because I'm really nervous and I haven't done it much before. Fucking do that. I would recommend you eventually push yourself higher and higher and get to a point where, sure, you can say sexy because it is more efficient. But again, you're asking the question of like, does it matter? It's like, it doesn't matter anywhere near as much as did you just talk to women? I want to make that really clear. Yes, it works a little bit better, sure. I do it because I can't be bothered wasting time on someone who like isn't wanting the same thing I'm wanting. I want to be very honest and upfront and say, yo, I want threesomes with you and my girlfriend. We're into BDSM, yes or no? Like, I want to be very efficient at this point in my life. But I understand for a lot of guys, they're not at that point. I wasn't for a long time. I wasn't ready to do that shit. So does talking to a lot. Does saying I dig your style work? Yes. Like, again, I want to make that very clear. The thing that makes the most difference, and even as I'm sitting here saying BDSM stuff works better at getting laid more, yes, it's much more efficient for sure. But the thing that matters 10 times more is how many women did you talk to today? Some guy who runs very, very nice guy game, as in some guy who walks up to girls and says, hey, I love your style and I just wanted to say hi. He will get laid more than me if he does that on 15 women a day. He will get laid more than me because I don't do that. I don't. I haven't actually cold approached a chick in a long time. That's another conversation to have. It's been several months. I don't cold approach. I just use Tinder. I get my girlfriend to use her Tinder mostly, and she finds girls and brings them in, so I don't really have to do anything because I want to be efficient, because getting laid, guess what, isn't my goal at all these days. So I want to make it really clear that the thing that makes the biggest difference is talking to as many women as possible. And so again, I'll make that point again. A guy that walks up and says, hey, I'd like your style, I want to say hi. If he does that with 15 women a day, as long as he's also then saying like, yo, let's go on a date, hey, do you want to come back to mine? He has to be making the moves and pulling the trigger, not just going on dates and wasting time. That guy will get laid more than me. He will. Like, he'll bang more new girls than me because he's playing the numbers game. Now, back in the day when I was playing the numbers game and I was talking to 15 girls a day and on Tinder and Hinge and going crazy with all that shit, yeah, I would get laid more because I was a little more assertive and, yo, you're sexy, come back to mine, all that kind of stuff. But I really want to make it clear that this question doesn't matter anywhere near as much as you think it does. It really doesn't. It really, really, really doesn't. It's one of those things that you worry about later on. So maybe that's a better way of phrasing it. Rather than it doesn't matter now. If you're asking the question, it doesn't matter to you now. If you're not at a point where you've gotten laid with, let's say, 5, 10 women, if you haven't slept with 10 women, if you aren't out there talking to at least 30 to 40 to 50 women a week, this question doesn't really matter. The number one thing you could do to improve your results is go out there and talk to at least 30 women a week. 40 is better, 50 is better, 100's even better. But, you don't need to do that many. 30 is great. 30 is great. Let's just say 30. Even if you can only do one girl a day, or one approach a day, fucking brilliant. Just do that. Just do that. Whatever you can do, just do that. That matters way more than how efficient you are. And if you're not at a point where you're consistently talking to women, don't worry so much about like, should I say I love your style or should I say you're cute? Just work on getting to that, either one approach a day or 30 approaches a week would be even better. Get to that point and then you can experiment. Because that's the other thing we can talk about here. If I tell you, hey, go say you're cute to girls or go say you're sexy, if you're only talking to 1 or 2 girls a week, you don't have enough sample size to see if you like it. Do you like telling girls that they're sexy and cute? Do you like the way it feels? Do you like the way they respond? Do you like, the results that it gets you? You don't have enough of a sample size to know that. And you're going to second guess. You'll go and tell 3 girls that they're sexy and maybe 2 of them will go like, no thanks. Because by the way, it's a more polarizing thing to say. To tell a girl you're sexy, some girls will say that I have a boyfriend. Like, it's much less safe than saying I dig your style. But if you're not playing the numbers game, you'll go and do that. 2 girls will say like, no, thank you, I have a boyfriend. You'll go, oh my God, it doesn't work as well. Andy's wrong. If I'd said like, hey, I love your style, that would have worked way better because they wouldn't immediately say I have a boyfriend. So like, you basically won't play it out and experiment with it and see if you like it better. And so don't worry about what to say. Don't worry about how to angle your body or what to dress or any of this shit. Don't worry about that shit as long as you're, doing the bare fundamentals, which I stated at the start or earlier in the podcast. Walking up to a bunch of girls, you look semi-decent, give them a compliment, talk for just a tiny bit, ask for a phone number or a date or whatever. As long as you're doing that, don't stress so much about like what exactly you say or how exactly you angle your body language or like whether you make a joke or do I fucking push, pull. Like, don't worry about any of that bullshit. It really doesn't fucking matter. None of that matters. And you'll see if you play the numbers game, if you talk to 30, if you talk to 40 or 50, but if you talk to 30 girls a week, you will get laid quicker than you think. You'll go on a bunch of dates quicker than you think, and you'll realize none of this even mattered. And so maybe this is another way I can phrase it. If you walk up to 30 girls a week and say, hey, I like your style, and I wanted to say, hey, and then you have a short conversation, then you say, hey, let's grab a drink. You're really cool. I want to grab a drink with you. You go out on a date, invite her back to yours, you will get laid. If you walk up to 30 girls a week and you say, yo, hey, you're really sexy. You are so fucking sexy. You talk for a little bit. You say, yo, let me grab your number because I want to grab a drink with you. You're really fucking hot. You're really cool. Like, let's grab a drink. If you do that and then you go on dates and you invite them back to your place, you will get laid. And so the point is, no matter which one of these two things you do, you will get laid. So just fucking do one of them and don't worry about which one of them you do. A lot of the time we sort of use questions like this as procrastination. It's called analysis paralysis, where you sit there and you overanalyze and you become paralyzed because you're like, oh, should I pick this or should I pick that? Well, this guy says I should do this, but then Andy recommends this, but then this other pickup artist seems to get results and he does this, but then Andy says to do it like this. And at some point, hang on, I'll make myself full screen. Why did I not do that earlier? There you go. You got full screen, Andy. So you'll overanalyze which one of these two things should I do. And at some point, you got to stop and realize, like, I'm not actually talking to girls. Shit. I've just spent like 2 weeks researching what I should say to girls when I go outside. I haven't actually just shut the fuck up and gone outside and talked to some girls. Shit. Fuck. You would have actually had more results if you walked out and did the lesser of the two options, or like the worst option. Not that I think there necessarily is a worse option, but you would have gotten more results if you'd gone outside and just not overanalyzed it. One of the things that I was always very good at, or that I am very good at, is just shutting the fuck up and taking action when I don't know what the right course of action is. How can you possibly know what the right course of action is? And even this question, you're basically saying, Andy, I'm a new sub, but can you please tell me, I mean, you give the answer away here. You say, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. You want to hear my thoughts. You're sitting there saying, can you just give me your thoughts? No, like, you're not here to just get my thoughts. Aren't you here to go and talk to women? Why do you need my thoughts? The way that that's phrased is like, oh, I want to just hit your thoughts, like for entertainment, obviously. Let me hear your thoughts. Can I hear your thoughts? No, go outside and talk to women. Why do you want my thoughts? Go outside and talk to women. This isn't a circle jerk. You know, you're a new sub, so I'll make this pretty clear. This isn't the kind of channel where I would just sit there and circle jerk and say, oh, well actually, here's the reason why I recommend that. It's like, go outside and talk to women. Or if your goal is money, go start a fucking business. Go cold email a bunch of clients. Go ask for people. Go tell people you work for them for free to get some testimonials. Go ask your friends if they want your product or your service. Start fucking hustling. Do something. Don't sit there and overanalyze and get stuck in this, which one is the right one to do, because there isn't a right one to do. It's what feels better for you. The only right one is the one that gets you the better results, or the results that you're happiest with. You can't possibly know that until you go out and try. It's why I've done an article, and you're a new sub, so you probably haven't read all my articles, but search my website, killyourinaloser.com, search for This Is All Just a Big Experiment. And in that, I talked about all of this is a fucking experiment. There isn't even necessarily a right way to do something, or a correct way, or a better way. It's like you got to just fuck around and try some things. Do one thing, see how it feels. Do the other and see how that feels. And then you know. You're basically, as a new sub, coming to a guy that you, by your own admission, don't know, me, and you're saying, hey, can you please convince me why I should say, you know, you're cute to a girl? Why would you fucking trust me? You don't know me. Why would you believe whatever I have to say? You don't know me. The only way you're ever going to find out why I say to say cute or hot or sexy is if you go outside and try it, and then you'll try it for a bunch, and then you can try the style thing that this other pickup artist guy recommends, and then you can figure out which one you like. And by the way, you might decide that you like what he says better. So why would I sit here and defend, which is, I know you're not saying to defend, but you're kind of, that's kind of what people want when they say, why do you recommend this? You're asking me to defend. Why would I defend when I don't even know which one you will end up liking? I'm not going to sit here and say, like, listen, I am God and everything I say is like the holy doctrine and you must do everything I say. I wrote another article that you probably haven't read called, Oh No, You've Angered the Gods. And I talked about how a lot of experts, pickup artists, you know, entrepreneurs, business people, everyone, a lot of experts will sit there and say, everything I say is the holy doctrine. And, you know, I pledge allegiance to my own fucking doctrine, and you must pledge allegiance to my doctrine too. And everything I say, we must fucking do to the letter. And don't you ever go against me. And here's why I'm correct. And I must defend it to the death. People do that all the time, don't they? Vegans fucking defend their shit. Environmentalists defend their shit. Leftists will defend their shit. Feminists will defend themselves. Men will defend themselves. Everyone will fucking defend their ideas and get lost in like petty arguments and shit that doesn't matter, which is all circle jerking and you not going outside and talking to girls. So the only thing, you're a new sub, the only thing I actually care about, and I'll tell you right now, is your happiness. And my own happiness, obviously. But when I do these videos, the only thing I give a fuck about is, are you happy? Are you happy with the results? Are you achieving your goals? Do you like your life? Do you feel like you're on the right path? Do you feel like you're on a mission? Do you feel satisfied? Any of those kind of questions. That's all I give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck how you get there. I really don't give a fuck how you talk to women. Why would I ever give a fuck? Why do I give a fuck? I literally don't care if you say, Andy, I did everything the exact opposite of what you said. I literally did the opposite advice to every piece of advice you gave, and here's my results. I'm really fucking happy. I'd be like, sweet, dude, that's fucking cool, man. Isn't that interesting? I wonder if I can learn anything from what you've just done. I wonder if I'll adjust and tweak some of my ideas to like incorporate what you've just figured out. Why wouldn't I want that? I get to learn, you get to learn. So I'm never going to sit here and say, hey, make sure you tell girls they're cute. No, bro, don't be a pussy. Don't say I love your style. That's weak, bro. That's beta. What are you, a beta? Bro, you little beta? You little cuck faggot beta, bro? No, I'm never going to fucking talk like that. I'm never going to give a shit what you do, as long as it brings you happiness and improves the lives of people around you. I want to make that clear as well, since you're a new sub. I care about improving the lives of the people around us. When it comes to getting laid, I care about leaving girls better than you found them, improving their life and all of that, which if you're new to hitting on girls, don't stress so much about that. You don't have to go and change the lives of every girl that you sleep with, but that's something to keep in mind is like, I want to be honest. I want to be a man of integrity. I don't want to use women. I don't want to lie to them. And on that note, I hinted at it before. Saying I love your style, it's not lying, but it isn't the full truth, is it? You don't really care about her style. By the way, if you see a girl with amazing style, yeah, sure, tell her. That's truthful. But the vast majority of girls that I'm assuming, this guy is walking up to, and this isn't me throwing shade at this pickup artist guy. I don't know him. But I would assume the vast majority of girls that he walks up to, he doesn't really care about their style, right? Like, how many girls have cool style? Some, like 10%, 5%, maybe 10%. Sure, if you like their style, say that, but I wouldn't recommend you go down a path of not telling the truth in order to get laid for a bunch of different reasons. Go to my website, Kill You're in a Loser. Just search for the word honesty or honest, and you will see I've written like 20 articles on this, but the main reason that I push for honesty and authenticity and just being real and just saying what you want, like, yo, I find you hot, or yo, you're cute, I wanted to talk to you, just telling the truth, basically, saying your truth. The main reason, above all else, that I recommend that is because you can look in your own eyes in the mirror, right? You can sleep with a girl, you have sex, she's there on your bed, you go into the bathroom to wash your dick or wash your hands or whatever, take a piss, you look in the mirror and you go like, yeah, I was a man of integrity today. I was a man of honesty. Everything I said to her was the honest truth. I didn't have to play any games. I didn't have to tell her that I cared about her style when I don't actually give a fuck about her style. Why would I give a fuck about her style? Well, what the fuck would I care about that? I'm not gay. I'm not a fashion icon. I don't care about fucking style or women's style. You can look in your own eyes in the mirror and say, yeah, I just told her the truth. I just told her, yo, you're sexy. And I wanted to say, hey. Yo, you're cute. And I wanted to say, hey. I got to just tell the truth. And she liked me for that. One of the things that can happen when you go down this route, and this guy isn't, this advice isn't massively going down this route, but when you start going down the route of like saying things that you think girls want to hear, or avoiding just telling the raw, honest truth, as in like, I find you cute, that's the raw, honest truth. That is the answer. I find you cute and I want to have sex with you. You don't have to say I want to have sex with you because that might be a little bit too blunt. But if she asks, like, why are you hitting on me? Because you're attractive and I want to have sex with you. I've said that to so many fucking girls. I've said that to so many girls. Girls will say, like, I'll hit on them. I'll say, like, yo, you're really cute. What's up? I want to say, hey. And they'll say, like, oh, like, are you just going around talking to girls? And I'll be like, yeah, I want to get laid. I've had so many fucking girls give me their phone number. I've fucked girls where I'm just honest and I'm just like, yo, I want to get laid. That's my entire Tinder profile. It's just like, yo, I'm here to get laid and have threesomes with my girlfriend. You up for it? Yes or no? Like, when you are that honest, you find that everything goes better. There's not this game. It doesn't feel like you have to lie in order to get what you want or start going down this path of lying. And no, I am not calling this pickup artist a liar, but I'm saying this is you not telling the full truth. This is you often, sometimes he will care about the girl's style, I'm sure, but this is you often saying something just as a rehearsed canned line that you don't actually feel. It's why I don't recommend you hit on girls that you're not attracted to. Don't tell her she's cute if you don't think she's cute. Like, only hit on girls that pass your boner test, as in you think you could get a boner over them. And so when you go down this path of like not telling the full truth, it can feel like I can never tell the truth. And so maybe you sleep with her a few times and you want to open up to her about something, but you hold back a little bit. Or you want to tell her like, hey, something that, I'm not quite happy with what we're doing. Let's tweak something. But you don't quite say it because you haven't set a foundation of just saying the fucking raw, honest truth and not playing these games. Another way of phrasing this is you're afraid to ever let the mask drop. What I mean by mask is when you walk up to a girl and pretend to care about her style, you're trying to put on this mask of like, oh, I'm cool. I don't just tell girls that they're cute. I'm chill and I got abundance mentality. You're putting on this mask, right? This fake persona. And I've done this for years. So if you want, go and read some of my articles. Just search for the word red pill on my website. I've done a lot about how I was very into the red pill and pick up artists and stuff. And I did a lot of this kind of stuff where I would say the thing that I didn't fully mean. Like I didn't really care about her style. Or I would avoid just saying like, yo, you're sexy. Or yo, you're cute. Or yo, I'm attracted to you. Or yo, you're pretty. What's up? Like I would avoid just telling the truth. And you get to a point where you sleep with them a few times and you feel like you're terrified that mask that you're wearing, that persona that you've put on, the pickup lines that you've said, and like the perfect alpha male Chad that you're pretending to be, you're terrified that will come, like you'll break for half a second or you'll relax for half a second or you'll let the mask drop for just half a second and she'll go like, what the fuck? You've changed. What the fuck? Like, I thought you were super confident, and now what? Now you have vulnerabilities? What the fuck? This is not who I got with. Did you lie to me back then, or are you lying to me? What the fuck? And so if you can just walk up and be completely honest and real and authentic and just like, yo, what's up? I think you're cute. Or give yourself permission to suck. And I tell guys this all the time. I did this for the longest time. I still do this anytime I'm nervous of something. Just literally say like, yo, I'm really fucking terrified right now. But like, you're cute. I wanted to say hey. I have no idea if you're going to fucking bite my head off, but like, what's up? I'm Andy. Like, if you can just be honest and real and say what you're fucking feeling, say, like, so many conversations, I've been deep in the conversation, like, we're in the conversation and I can't think of what to say because I'm terrified, I'm nervous. And I'll literally just say like, I don't know what to say. What am I supposed to say now? And she'll go like, I don't know. And I'll be like, I'm nervous as hell. And she'll go like, I'm nervous too. And then I'll be like, what do we do now? And she's like, I don't know. And then I'll be like, why don't we just be nervous together? And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, we're nervous together. I guess that's okay. I don't feel so lonely now. You're nervous with me. We can be two little nervous people together. We can fight the nervousness together. It feels like she's on your team. I've done plenty of articles about that. So you're a new sub. Go to killyourinaloser.com and search for You and Me. It's probably one of my better articles. And yeah, basically, like if you can just be real and authentic and honest, and not feel like you have to like get around the thing that you're actually trying to say, which is, hey, I'm attracted to you. You're cute. If you can just be honest, you don't ever sit there and worry about like, what if she finds out? What if one day I'm too honest? It's like, I've been honest from the start. I've been vulnerable from the start. I've kept it real from the start. I don't have to keep up this fucking alpha male Chad bullshit. And obviously don't like completely fall apart and start crying and be like, my boss is mean to me, baby. Like, I'm not telling you to just completely fall apart. I have done so many podcasts and articles on how to be vulnerable while still being masculine, how to retain your masculinity while you're being authentic and honest. I've got plenty of articles and podcasts on that. But the point here is, and again, let me make the original point that saying, I love your style, or wanted to say hi, will still get you laid. It will still work. I am not saying it's wrong. I am not saying it's bad. What I am trying to get into your head is like, start thinking about, what do I want as a human being? What do I want as a man? Do I want to just say, hey, you're cute? Whatever it is that I feel. Rather than feel like I have to sort of avoid that and go around that and say, hey, I like your style, because I can't tell you that you're cute. I want to. You are cute. I secretly want to have sex with you, but I want to try and keep that a secret. It's like, why? Are you going to go around your entire life hiding the things you want, which isn't very masculine? And I'll tell you from experience, doesn't feel very good. I did that for a couple of years. It doesn't feel good. A lot of my clients have come from the pickup artist world, and they come to me for coaching because they go, holy shit, this guy's just telling me to just be honest with girls. You mean if I'm attracted to a girl, I can just say, yo, I'm attracted to you. Would you like to come back to my place? And I'm like, yeah. Why wouldn't you say that? Just tell the fucking truth. She'll respect you as a man. She'll respect you as a person for telling the truth. She'll probably say yes because you asked her fucking honestly instead of trying to snake your way into her pants. And so I've seen in my own life, in so many of my friends, in like literally hundreds of my clients at this point, so many fucking emails. You're someone that's new, so I don't expect you to just trust me on that. But being honest and just saying what you want works out for a million different reasons. Go and read all the articles on my website, killyourinaloser.com. Read all the honesty ones. And go out and try it for yourself. You don't have to just take my word for it. I'm never going to say, trust me, take my word for it, bitch. Like, no, go out and try this stuff yourself. You can try the style thing for a while. See how that works. You can try the, yo, you're cute. See how that works. Again, you might actually decide, I prefer to say I love your style. Great. Do it. But you asked me why I say I'm cute. That's why I say, you asked me why I say, hey, you're cute. That's why I say you're cute. I usually say you're sexy. I say whatever I feel. If she's some like cute girl with like big fucking nerdy glasses and she looks like a bookworm, I'll tell her she looks adorable. I'll say, you're so adorable. If she looks fucking hot as shit, like she's covered in tattoos, she's got like fucking lipstick, big fucking fake tits, high heels, I'm going to be like, yo, you're fucking killing it today. You are fucking hot. Holy shit. Like, I'll literally say that. If I think she's cute, like girl next door, I'll be like, oh, you're cute. If I think she's pretty, like some girls are just naturally pretty. They have long, beautiful hair, fucking gorgeous eyes, just beautiful face. I'll be like, you are stunning. You are really pretty. Like, you are amazingly pretty. And so I say whatever I feel. It's probably the easier way of doing it because you don't have to think like, oh, what should I say? What compliment should I give her on her style? You just say whatever you feel. Look at her and say whatever you feel. Again, you might look at a girl and decide she has cool style. Say it. Yo, your style's really fucking cool. Cool. Say that. You might decide she's hot. Say that. You might decide she's just really pretty. Say that. Whatever it is that you feel, say it. I will say within cultural, like, I mean, whatever. You can say whatever you want, but like, I don't go so far as like, if I want to fuck her, I don't walk up to her on the street and be like, yo, I want to fuck you. Because that doesn't, I have said that once or twice, but I wouldn't say it in a crass way. It would depend on the person. It's not something that I really say that much. And we can get into why, if you guys want me to answer that, like as to why, we could have a big philosophical wanky discussion on like why there are still social boundaries. Like if we push honesty so much, why don't we just walk up to girls and be like, I want to fuck you. Do you want to fuck me? Again, it ties back to results. Results is the only thing that matters. So go up to a bunch of girls and say that and see what happens. If it works, great, keep doing it. If it doesn't, don't. And bear in mind that there might be consequences if you walk up to girls and say, yo, I want to fuck you. Do you want to fuck me? There might be consequences. She might go and tell someone because that is very crass, especially if you're doing that like in a fucking shopping center or something, shopping mall. You might get kicked out by mall security. The fucking police might come for harassment. I don't know. I haven't done it. So I'm not going to run that experiment. I'm not even advocating that you run that experiment. I'll make that fucking clear for legal disclaimer and shit. But the point is, as long as you're not hurting someone, and I don't think that's hurting someone, whatever. I'm getting massively off topic here. But you get the point. Within social norms and politeness, I guess politeness is a kindness, and I am someone that, like I said, pushes kindness and being kind to others and leaving people better off than you found them. I don't feel like walking up to people and saying, yo, I want to fuck you. Do you want to fuck me? I don't think that leaves a lot of people better than you found them. I think a lot of them will get intimidated by that and scared. I don't know, though. I haven't run that experiment, but I'm not willing to run that experiment. But you get my fucking point. I'm getting massively off topic. I'm not recommending you guys do that. I'll make that fucking clear for legal disclaimers and bullshit. But yeah, the point here is, I'll start wrapping up now. Say whatever you want. That is why I say cute or hot or sexy. That is why I'm that forward on Tinder and I have a BDSM picture and multiple BDSM pictures and my girlfriend and all that shit. That's why I'm that forward. But it doesn't really matter as much as you think it does. What matters is go outside and talk to a bunch of girls, experiment with different fucking pickup lines if you want to, and you will likely find what almost every single guy does who actually gets laid to a point where they're happy with their sex life. And that's not me throwing shade at this pickup artist guy. I don't know him. But most guys who get to a point where they are happy with their sex life, they just drop all the fucking pickup lines and all the games. They go, I can't be bothered anymore. I don't want to have to fucking try this hard. I want it to be efficient. I want to just get laid without even trying. That's why my girlfriend, just on her Tinder account, she set her profile to looking for women. And she just goes like, hey, yo, me and my boyfriend, we like BDSM, we like threesomes. Are you up for it? Yes or no? And she just brings the fucking girls in. Like, I want it to be as efficient as possible so that I don't have to think about it. And she likes it to be efficient as possible too. We've got it fucking crazy efficient. It takes us no effort. And so you will likely find that if you get to a point where you're pretty happy with your sex life, you'll drop all these questions and all these games because you go, it doesn't matter. Whatever I feel like doing in the moment, that's what I would do. And I will leave you with a quote from Good Looking Loser, who, if you haven't read his stuff, go and read that. That's his stuff is amazing. He very much influenced who I am. I probably wouldn't be sitting here in this podcast chair doing this podcast if it wasn't for him. I'll leave you with a quote from him. He said, the only rule for being an alpha male, and he didn't like the terms alpha male and beta male. I don't like them either. I think they're ridiculous. But he said the only thing that defines an alpha male is a guy that does whatever the fuck he wants. That's it. That's an alpha male. And he put alpha male in quotes because alpha male is a goofy fucking term. But an alpha male is someone who does whatever the fuck he wants. Go out there and do whatever you want within the veins of being nice to other people. But go out there, say whatever fucking pickup lines you want, and just run the numbers game, yeah? This is all just a big experiment. Don't stress so much about, like, should I do Andy shit? Should I do this other pickup artist guy stuff? The pickup artist guy stuff will work as long as he's still doing the basics, like telling, asking for her phone number, going on a date, inviting her back, trying to have sex with her, or asking her if she wants to have sex. That stuff works. What I'm saying works. It all fucking works, man, as long as you're doing the fundamentals. Just pick one and run with it. Don't sit here and say, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Every second you sit here listening to my thoughts is time you're not spending outside talking to girls. So if you are going to watch any more of my videos or read any of my articles, you can do whatever you want. You're an adult, but I would recommend you go outside and do it. Like, read it or listen to it while you're talking to girls. Do both at the same time. Don't sit here at home, which you probably are right now, let's be honest, wasting time not going outside and actually getting the thing you want. If you want something, go for it. It means taking action, not just listening to some fucking prick in a beanie on YouTube with an Australian accent telling you, oh, do this, do that. Like, that doesn't help you. Going outside and actually doing it does help you. No. On that note, I think we'll wrap up. I think that'll do. Feels like a decent podcast for my first one in like 8 weeks. A little bit rusty. Pretty good. Think it went well. Probably should have put my phone on silent, but you guys who've watched for a while know that I never do that. I never remember. And I'm also awkward with my segues to coaching. So if you would like coaching, if you would like me to sit down and give you my thoughts and teach you how to be an alpha male Chad, but seriously, if you want me to sit down and coach you, I've got group coaching, one-on-one coaching. I'll leave links in the description below to that. Highly recommend you sign up. All the guys in there are absolutely fucking amazing. I've got another coach that works alongside me, Radical. He's the style coach, and he jumps in the Facebook group and gives a bunch of answers. We do a weekly group coaching call in the group coaching program. Those are fucking killer. I also, with my one-on-one clients on top of that, do a one-on-one weekly call every week. Both of them are 12-week programs. Change your fucking life. Get your ass into gear. If you're someone like this guy and you're sitting there and you're feeling like, man, I'm just not even able to go outside and talk to girls, we will help you with that. If you feel like you want a more elite sex life, we will help you with that. If you just want to make a fuck ton of money, we'll help you with that. You want a bunch of friends, we'll help you with that. Depression, we will help you with that. Plenty more content. I promise I won't. I mean, you guys don't care because I've still been releasing videos, but I won't go. I'm going to aim to record at least 2 bits of content every single week. I've got some other projects that I'm working more on now, some books and some other like courses and stuff like that. But I am going to do at least 1 podcast and 1 YouTube video every single week. I've kept up that schedule anyway, but now I'm going to be recording them because I don't have any scheduled. And if you're not on my Spotify / Apple Podcast / whatever else podcast, go and check that out. There's extra content that's not on here. I do like entirely, the same style of content, but just audio form, extra content. Go check that out. As always, guys, go out there and crush your goals.